Good day to you, everybody. Welcome to Hacking Self-Storage. It is Monday, and what we do on Mondays is we go for our week in numbers. Wednesday's episode is going to be all about websites and what I've learned recently with my Beverly site. It is crucial if you've got a self-storage facility or want a self-storage facility or manage a self-storage facility that you listen, because we made some massive mistakes and I want to go through them and how we rectify them. And I don't mean we make massive mistakes on websites, because that is one thing that a website is an investment, not a cost. I spend an ungodly amount of money on my websites to have the best in the world. I've spent over 10 grand on my store, my website, and I will continue to do so because it's a massive investment. However, I dropped the ball a little bit because we had no competition, basically. So I dropped the ball, and now what we're doing is rectifying that, and I'm going to go through it, what we did at Beverly and why we did it. So that is Wednesday's episode. Friday's episode, do you know what? I don't actually know what it is. I can't lie. I have no idea what Friday it's going to be. It could be a doozy, whatever it is. Okay. So on Mondays, what we do is go from our weekly numbers. And so that's what I'm going to do. Firstly, I want to give a massive, massive shout out and thank you to Gavin Shields. When I say he cares about you and your business, he 100% cares. I won't say he cares more than me, because obviously my business and my mortgage and my personal guarantee on the line, etc. So he doesn't care more than me, but he really cares about your business. He cares. I've never seen a business that cares so much about the well-being of their customers. And by the way, and why shouldn't he? Because if I do well, then he's going to do better, because the more people that do well and succeed, then the more customers he gets. But he's done so much for this week. We've had 2 meetings, and not just with him, but with 2 of his teams as well. It was absolutely fantastic. I really, really appreciated it. And basically the meetings where I said to Gavin that I believe the first meeting on Monday, I believe we need a CRM system, and I believe that we can't show prices on the website. I don't think it's working well at Willoughby, because at Clough Road. Willoughby, we don't show any prices, in terms of you've got to put in your details first of all before we give you the prices. At Clough Road, what happens is that we show you the prices straight away. I said to Gavin, I don't think it's working well. I think that we need to change, because I'm all about testing. The only way we know something's working or not if we test it. So I said, listen, I want to go the other way. And don't get me wrong, we're beating projections at the minute. We've got more square foot moved in than we projected we have. But my projections are always on the lower side, because I never, ever not want to meet my projections, because I think there's nothing worse when you don't hit your projections and you're short of money. So therefore, my projections, I do 3 projections. I do a strong projection, a weak projection, and a middle projection. And the projection that we went for is always the middle one, but it's always a little bit weak. I always think we can better it. And don't get me wrong, we are bettering it. We're doing good. We're doing okay. But I thought we could do better. And so I wanted to try not doing the prices on the website, and like we did at Willoughby. I spoke to Gavin about it, and we was on the phone. We was on a call with 2 of his developers for 2 hours. Absolutely, it was brilliant. He put some questions to me that I've never thought about before. And then we left that call. I left that call thinking, I tell you what, I'm not going to put prices on Willoughby anymore. I'm going to put prices on Willoughby. I'm going to show everything from across the board. But then I spoke to a few other people, a few other operators, and I really dug down in my data. I got all my data. We had another call on Wednesday and went through all this data again and went back and forth, because Gavin's a great believer in showing your prices. I'm yet to be convinced, because Gavin's seen the data from his side that works well for his customers. However, I can't use that data because it's not my data. I can't see that data because obviously there's no way Gavin's going to tell me the data of other people, but he's saying, look, my data is telling me, Dean, that it's better showing prices. And I'm like, well, I haven't seen that from my side. And so it's fantastic. What's absolutely unbelievable is that we're both willing to have a conversation. That is when you learn, and that is when you improve. You only improve when you are willing to have a conversation. Strong opinions, loosely held. Strong opinions, loosely held. And that's exactly what me and Gavin did. And like I say, it's 3 hours, 2 hours one day, and an hour another day. But then the preparation time as well. On top of that, he gave me some pointers about the website, what I could do better. And I'm like, I was so mad. I was so upset, because normally my website is on point. And I got mad and upset with myself, because him and his developers were seeing things that I didn't see. And so give me that feedback is fantastic, because now we're implementing that on our website. And it's fantastic because sometimes you can't read the label inside the jar. I say this many, many times. And if you're in your business, you need an outside perspective. You cannot just see everything in your business because you're too much, you're too involved, you're too ingrained in the business. And so, yeah, I just wanted to give Gavin a shout out because Stora, if you are setting up a self-storage, I know many, many listeners to this podcast are thinking about setting up a self-storage. There is not another company in the world I would recommend as much as Stora. I feel bad for saying that because then there's some fantastic companies in self-storage. Okay, let me phrase it another way. There is not another software I wouldn't hesitate to recommend Stora. For somebody starting out, I think it is imperative that you use it. It's an absolute, as Dave Davey would say, fucking no-brainer, mate. It's a fucking no-brainer. That's exactly how Dave sounds, by the way. Exactly. Fucking no-brainer, mate. And so, yeah, I just wanted to give a massive shout. And by the way, I don't get paid for mentioning Gavin at all. No money has transferred hands whatsoever. I just love the fact that somebody is going so deep and cares so much and wants to improve the industry so much. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking about it now, but I went away thinking, Jesus Christ, that is so, nobody's ever done that for my business. Nobody has ever spent that amount of time for free on my business. And it's wonderful. So I really appreciate it. So cheers, Gavin, the team. Daryl, Stephen, thank you very much. Really, really appreciate you guys. It is awesome. You guys rock. Okay, so this week, how did we do? Well, do you remember last week? I said that we're going to lose around about 800 square foot or something stupid like that, whatever it was. We didn't. We lost nowhere near. We still lost square footage, but it was nowhere near what we thought. So amount of quotes were 24. 24 quotes, and the average quotes per day was 3.43. Again, I'm going to do a full episode about this when I get my data. Again, it's probably going to disagree with Gavin's data, but I believe the problem is I've got one website, if you go to storemore.co.uk, and I've got two facilities on there. My other facility is Belver 24, and then we open in Sunderland, but I've got two facilities on there in Hull at storemore.co.uk. Great domain, by the way. And one shows prices and one doesn't. I believe the reason why we aren't getting many quotes is because people are seeing the prices for Clough Road without putting the details in, and therefore, when they come to Willoughby and want to see a price, they see the prices hidden behind an information wall, and they're thinking, bollocks to that, can't be bothered. I've already got the price from Clough Road. I think I roughly know it can't be much different. You know, why is the story different on Clough Road and Willoughby? Why is the price different? By the way, it's different. Willoughby's more expensive, and so therefore I don't believe people are putting in the quotes. That's why I believe we're missing out on some quotes. So that's just my opinion. And again, I will get the data to prove it or disprove it. It's like, we're like scientists here. We want to disprove it or prove it. All we want to do is get to the fact. It doesn't matter if I'm right. It doesn't matter if Gavin's right. All that matters is that we get to the optimum level for running a self-storage company. And it will change over time as well. What works this year, what might not work next year or the following year. I know for certain, if showing the prices doesn't work now, it will work in 5-10 years' time. It will be the way to go. But my question is it the way to go just yet? And the answer is, who knows? I don't know. Gavin doesn't know. Nobody knows. But all we can do is test and see what's best for you in your marketplace and your criteria. And so we're going to test it. Again, I'll do a massive new episode about this, but we're going to test it and see what happens. And I'll report all the details to you guys, because I think it's a fundamental question. Show prices or not show prices. And especially when you're one of the most dearest around, then I think it is possibly important to actually get in front of a customer and help them, assist them, and tell them why you're different. But not only that, customers don't have a clue what size they need. And so that's where they need some instruction, they need some help. It'd be great. I would love nothing more to be a fully manless automated facility where I don't touch the customer at all. A touch point, by the way, is like a telephone call, email, whatever, voicemail. I would love it if we don't have to talk to a customer, because it means that the customers don't need us and we don't need what we do need the customers, but it means the customers don't need us, and it'd be much easier. It'd be so much simpler, but I don't believe that to be true yet. I believe that for customers still need the hand holding through the process and guiding, first of all, to choose us and what sort of room size, etc. So it's an interesting debate, and I absolutely love it, because we're learning all the time. We're educating ourselves. And like I said, what works this year won't work next year. And what really, really impresses me is that I feel like I found a company with Gavin and his developers that are inquisitive just like me. And there's no right or wrong answer, but how many people are having this conversation? Not many. Not many people are testing, they're testing the principles, they're testing what they believe. You've always got to be thinking how you can put yourself out of business, what can go wrong, how can you improve, adjusting, iterating, improving, adjusting, iterating, improving. It's a never-ending loop. And so many people just rest on the laurels, and we can't be one of those. So many people in this industry they can rest on the laurels because it's an industry that's not innovating very fast. We don't need to. There's not a lot of moving parts. But if you're one of these people who integrate and improve, then your results will be exponentially better than other people. So I really do believe that it's so important to look at the data and test. Right. So 24 quotes. And so, like I say, it's low and normal. It's small and normal. Average quotes per day, 3.43. Number of reservations are 13 reservations from 24 quotes. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not from from 24 quotes, because it could be from the quotes a week before, but ultimately it's a conversion rate this week, excuse me, of conversion rate of 54.17. So quotes to reservations. Forward movings were 7. So we want it to be around about about 3/4. So at the minute it's 54%. We want it to be higher than that. Number of new move-ins was 8. So 8 move-ins. And so that's a conversion rate of 33%, which is really, really good. Quotes to move-ins, really good. This is just our Willoughby store, by the way. So square foot moved in 625. 625 square foot moved in total. Other move-ins were 9. We had 9 other move-ins. So people taking extra rooms, etc. So the total amount of move-ins were 1,410. Number of times of the van was rented out. The Transit was rented out 6 times, and the Luton, my good friends, was rented out. Come on, guess how much? How many? 5. By the way, we did our figures, how much the Luton's made and how much a Transit has actually made as net profit. Don't forget, we give free van hire, but what we do is we charge insurance for the customer. So out of all the costs, everything is taken into consideration. The Luton made us $5,000 in a year, and the Transit made us 2. And so we made $7,000 from our vans, and the Transit has had so many problems recently as well. So if we'd have got rid of our Transit instead of the 4th year, if we got rid of it in the 3rd year, swapped it, then it'd have been a lot higher, but we didn't. So we made $7,000 from our vans, but not only that, our customers love free van hire, and we made $7,000, over £100 a week. Bananas, absolutely brilliant. So I thought I'd share that with you. Right, where did our quotes come from? Our quotes came from Google. 15 quotes came from Google. That's 63%. Word of mouth was 4. That is 17%. Passing by is 3. That is 13%. 1 was used before. That's 4%. Bever 24, social media, estate agents, removals, and blog were all 0. So square foot moved in was 1,410. Square foot moved out. You ready for it? It's actually quite high, but it's a lot better than it's 1,410 square foot moved in was really, really good. I'm really happy with that. And I don't actually know if we've actually got a sponsor for the middle. Anyway, if we've got a sponsor, here's a sponsor. I'm back. Right, so net result was, square foot moved out was 1,585. So 1,585 square foot moved out. So net result was 175 square foot down, which was really, really pleased because I thought it was going much more. Number of rooms moved in was 17. Number of rooms moved out was 23. Total internal rooms occupied is 348. Containers in, 1. Containers out, 1. 46 number of containers rented out. We have, by the way, just assembled another container. We've moved somebody out for car parking and a couple of weeks ago, and so we could put another one of our Janus Boxwell containers that we bought in bulk, flat pack things. That was our last one. We put it in now, and so we've got another 160 square foot on the system. So car parking spaces rented, we've got 5. Store occupancy 79.59. So it's below the 80, but don't forget, we've just added in another 160 square foot of lettable space that we haven't yet let. So that makes a bit of a difference. Average sales price per move-in for merchandise is £34, £34.48. I keep looking over at the football to see what score it is. Total amount of insurance sold is 43,000. So that's an average. Yay! We're above the 5,000 again. It means an average of £5,375. Okay, here's the most important bit. Number of new move-ins next week. Nine move-ins due next week for 775 square foot. Guess what? We've had a customer pay for a 400 square foot unit, a business, for $9,500 upfront for a year. So that's lovely jubbly. That massively helps with cash flow. Well, I say massively. It's nice to have an extra 10 grand in the bank in it. Why wouldn't it be? So really, really pleased there. Well done, team. So square foot due to move out is 10, and the amount of rooms to move out are 10. And the amount of square footage due to move out is 825. So on the figures, we are due to lose 50 square foot next week. I think we'll make 400 square foot. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to say 400 square foot up next week. That is my predictions. Right. So how much did we take last week? Ooh, it's first answers. We have taken £19,265.20 at Stormore. That is including, well, not excluding, £234.88 of bounce direct debits. Oh my God, we've got bounce direct debits at Beverley as well. Bounce direct debits at Beverley are £181.44. And we have a net revenue at Beverley of £5,054.71. So really good there at Beverley. Really good week. Massive week. So in total, we took £24,319.91. I'm going to have to start including what you may call it for there as well. What you may call it? I'm going to have to start including Clough Road as well. Let's have a look. Stora login. Let's have a look. See what we are currently. Stora.co, I think it is. And I'll tell you how much square foot, etc. we have. Stora.co. Here we go. Sorry. All right, login. It's coming. Here we go. There's my name, there's my number. Here we go. Right. So currently, dashboard. It's so easy to see the dashboard. It's brilliant. I love the dashboard. So currently, we have 1,925 square foot actually in Clough Road at the minute. So we're nearly at that 2,000 mark, and we've been open 7 weeks-ish. I should know exactly. Around about 7 weeks. Yeah, 7 weeks. Exactly, 7 weeks. So 7 weeks open, 1,925 square foot. So I feel stupid saying this. I can't complain, but I do complain because I want more. I'm thinking. So we've on the projections, we projected 500 square foot net, or just over 500 square foot net every single month for the first 2 years, and that means we'll be full in 2 years. But I'm thinking, nah, bollocks to that. I want to be full within a year. If I'm not full within a year, I'll be devastated. But looking at this, we're going to be 1,000 square foot a month at the minute, and I'm still not happy. But don't forget, we haven't had any move outs at the minute. So, well, we've had some move outs, but you don't have the chain rate that you would do later on. So at the minute, you get some. I think we've had like 300 square foot move out. Let's have a look. So revenue per square foot. Something like that, description after discount. Yeah. So we're at £11.60 per square foot, but don't forget that's a bit of a distorted figure. So we're getting £11.60 per square foot at Clough Road. It's distorted figure purely because we've got half price offer for 8 weeks. So it's distorted because most people, well, everybody's still in the half price offer. That's why it's £11.60. However, like I say, you do act differently. And I've had loads of emails from people, awesome emails from people saying, thank you so much about you act differently in lease up as you do when you're a mature facility. You have to act differently. And it's only just come to me as this, obviously we do that, but I've never really documented it or said anything. So yeah, at the minute, I genuinely don't care. I don't care about the revenue per square foot at the minute. I couldn't give a shit. I really don't care, because then it becomes revenue management. All it is at the minute is getting the square foot in, and we're probably too expensive. But I'm in a fortunate position where if this was my only site and I needed this to cash flow quickly, then I would drop the prices. But I'm in a very fortunate position where it's not as important now as it was 4 years ago for us to cash flow. I can stomach it. So I'm setting the price. I'm setting the bar high for my prices at the minute. But if I needed to cash flow in that, I'd drop the prices and I wouldn't really care because I just get people in. And then I would slowly start turning up my revenue management. I cranking it up, the rate per square foot. I feel like it's a game. The first game you're playing is occupancy. That's what you should be concentrating on, is occupancy. That's the first game. Get people in. And then the second game you play is rate per square foot. The rent you're getting per square foot. What is that rate? That is the second game. And I love both games, but probably my favorite is obviously the rent per square foot. What are we getting rent per square foot? How do we adjust that dial? And we've had loads and loads of podcasts, by the way, about increasing prices and what we do with price increases and stuff. And I might revisit it in one massive episode in the near future because I get so many questions about it. I feel like it's doing good. Let's have a look how many subscriptions we've got up and coming. Oh, we've actually got quite a few. So we've got a 50 square foot due in, a 25, that's 125. Is she coming in? Move-ins. Oh no, she's not coming in. No. So we've got 14th of March. Yeah, we have got another one. Interesting. Yes. Oh wow, we've got a lot of square foot due to move in. Hey, I didn't know there was so many, to be honest. Or I must have. I don't know. Why I've completely forgot about them. So we've got 125, 250. We've got 450 square foot due in the next, but early March. In the next few days, we've got a lot to move in. And then on the 28th of March, we've got a 50 square foot to move in. So yeah, it's ultimately, I mean, I can't bloody complain, can I, with that? And it's like 1,250 square foot a month. But like I say, I've got high standards. I've got a very, very high bar that makes me happy. Anything below that, and I'm like, I don't know. I like to put pressure on myself, I guess. All right, guys, girls. I'm going to go and watch the Arsenal match. Thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you. And I love all the messages. It is awesome. And I love engaging with you guys on my posts on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for everybody. I mean, I think I got like 50,000 views on my post on LinkedIn the other day, last week. It's mental. It is mental. And so it just shows how much people love self-storage. You either love me or you love self-storage. Self-storage. All right, guys, girls. See ya. Bye.